create content in a way that's unique and complements who you are.
Any other fundamentals, basic things that you have to deal with over and over and over again that the good people in the chat could maybe take care of tonight or this week or this month and save themselves a lot of headache and heartache?
I think so. And it's not as much legal as it is maybe production quality. And what I mean by that, what I've noticed, especially this past year with COVID, is all of us are now on live video, right? And it's one thing to click and go live. It's another thing to click and go live and be effective with your live stream, to be able to storytell, to be able to not only share a story like we do in court. That's the way I win my cases, is telling an effective story that's relevant to my audience. But it's more than that, because if all I'm doing during a live video or in court is sharing a story, all I'm doing is entertaining. And normally what I want to do is I want to empower my audience to take that next step. I want to persuade them, whether they realize it or not, to take that next step and give my client the results that my client's entitled to. The same thing applies on live video. When we're creating live videos, let's plan ahead a little bit. Right. Let's tell stories in a way that empowers our audience to take that next step. And in every good story, there are three critical components. Would you like me to go through those critical components with you quickly?
You're such a pro, Mitch. I asked that question so that we could move right into those tips. So this is beautiful, because I've been looking forward to hearing this.
You guys, one of the things I like about this book right here, and I tried to twist Ross's arm to contribute a chapter in this book, but we couldn't work out the contract, and I respect you for that. But here's the thing, you guys. The third part of this book is all about communicating on social media. It's my favorite part of the book, because I think it's where a lot of people drop the ball. Using your hands, being animated, looking at the webcam. One of my contributing authors is a friend of mine named Carmine Gallo. Carmine Gallo wrote the book Talk Like TED. He interviewed 200 of the top TED speakers. What makes them so special? How can they communicate so much better than everyone else? And frankly, I think everybody on TED is great, right? What Carmine wrote for social media for this book was, you want to break down what you're saying into three different components. Number one, whether you like it or not, you've got to be entertaining. You've got to add some type of entertainment value to what you're doing. Now, maybe it's what you're wearing. Maybe it's your animated hand movements. Maybe it's what's in your background. Maybe it's me going out on a paddleboard in the harbor, or doing a run and shooting a live video while I'm doing that. You want to somehow be entertaining in a way that's appropriate to your message. If I'm talking about a serious wrongful death case, I don't want to be entertaining about it. What I want to do is add a quality content. Number two, you want to create content in a way that's unique and complements who you are, how you come across, what are you good at, what are you not good at, and create content that's unique to you. And number three, create content in a way where it's memorable. It can be shareable. It can be repurposed easily by your audience. They're going to remember the sound bites. In the comments, my disclaimer, I am a California lawyer, but I'm not your lawyer. Actually, I am a California lawyer, and a pretty good lawyer at that, but I'm not your lawyer. No legal advice. People are actually commenting about having heard that before. I picked that up from a Harvard professor listening to his podcast 8 years ago, and incorporated it into what I'm doing, because I think it's smart, right? So if you take those three components, be entertaining when it's appropriate to do so. Number two, be unique. And number three, create memorable and shareable content. Ross, I think that's what people need to focus on moving forward in 2021. And with everything happening in the world, the other caveat to all of that is allow yourself to be flexible. What I've noticed is there's so many things happening so quickly. If you have these long-term content calendars, oftentimes after a couple of weeks, it's not going to be relevant content to what's going on in the world. Right. And by far, what I found to be the most valuable content that I've created and shared on social media and live video is content that talks about real world, real-time issues. What's happening today? What happened last weekend? What do I think is going to happen next week? And I create content on the fly about those topics. And I think regardless of your products or services, if you do that, that's what people are looking for. They want to dive a little bit deeper into what they just heard on the news the night before, or they heard Ross on StreamYard talking about with respect to the new longer videos. Everyone here should be creating content, if you're a content creator, on how excited you are that there's going to be longer videos available in the StreamYard platform. Why is that important? How does that affect the algorithms on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram? There are stories here that people are going to be searching for. And I think once you do that, my content calendar is 2 weeks out, Ross, just like Uber. Uber, they limit it to 2 weeks and they're done because they don't know what's going to happen. My content calendar is the same. And so for me, moving forward, that's another thing I take into consideration.